question that we find ourselves faced with the most by our clients right now is, can I wear printed trousers and would they even suit me? There is a real tendency to believe that printed trousers only suit people who spend their lives on runways, and so we thought this would be a great topic to tackle in this week's blog and to dispel the myth that unless you're 7 feet tall, printed trousers are a no-go. So what I thought I would do is to address some of the different sort of body shape and leg height combinations of most women out there and let you know that there is a style to suit everyone. So the first body shape, if you will, that I wanted to talk about is if you are on the shorter side but you have an average build. The style that we would recommend in that case is to go for something with a little bit of tailoring, but definitely with the vertical stripe, because as we all know, vertical stripes can help to create the illusion of length. So you're tackling two things at once. You're getting the proportion right and you're creating height where you want it. The second body type that I want to talk about is if you're shorter again, but perhaps you feel like you're a little heavy in the thigh area. If that's the case, then what we would suggest is going again for the vertical stripe for the same reason, to create height and length, but this time opt for a wider leg trouser. And that means that the trouser, the width should start from the hip area right the way through to the bottom. What this will help to do is to skim and hide the heaviness in the thighs, create height, and just be flattering all the way through the leg without drawing attention to any one part where you don't want the focus to be on. The third body type is if you are again shorter, but this time you actually have quite skinny legs. In that case, it would suggest that you're fairly petite, and if so, we recommend a cigarette style trouser that again has more tailoring, but this time go for something with quite a small print. The reason that the print is quite important and the fact that it should be small is because you want to keep the print in proportion to your own size and body shape. So that's something to keep in mind. The fourth body type we want to talk about is if you have a longer leg but you're an average build. In that case, you can play around with something like a jogger style trouser, which means that they are a little bit more relaxed in the top and then they gradually taper through to the bottom of the leg. And they do tend to be a little on the shorter side by design, so they might sort of come up cropped or near ankle length, and if you're taller you can play around with some options like that. If you are longer in the leg again, but perhaps you might be heavier in the thigh and bigger in the calf area, then a good option in that case is to go for a wider leg trouser like we discussed before, but this time go for a bold print. Your height will allow you to pull off the bold print as well as the longer length, but the width of the trouser will help to disguise the heaviness in the thigh and also tackle the calf issue if you find that more fitted styles are a challenge in that area. Last of all, I think, if you are taller again or longer in the leg but you have really skinny legs, then believe it or not, this is not the magic formula for being able to wear anything and everything. People tend to think that it is, but actually we would say go for a cigarette style in a print. You can go for a fairly medium size print in this case, but do avoid actually going for the wide leg trousers, because if your legs are that skinny and you go for the very wide trouser, you might just end up looking like someone on a pair of stilts at a fair. Not quite the look we're going for. So hopefully this helps you realize that actually no matter what your height or size, there is something out there for you to consider. There is a style out there for you that will work. And when it comes to how to style them and what to put with a printed trouser, we really suggest just keeping it quite simple to start with. So keep the tops plain, go for block colors perhaps, and really depending on the situation, you can either keep things casual, add a denim jacket, maybe some Converse trainers or a cool sandal, or if you want to jazz things up and smarten the look, you can add a blazer, maybe a piece of jewelry and a heel or a wedge of some kind. But really, we want you to consider a printed trouser. We want you to not run away from the idea of them and think of them as a great alternative in the summertime to your jeans. They make for great traveling pieces, they are good holiday options, and they just provide a little interest and difference where you might not have thought to try. And believe it or not, print can actually be a really great tool to disguise parts of your body, whether in a trouser or in something else, disguise parts that you don't feel so comfortable with, because they are busy enough that they confuse the eye and there's no one place to focus on. So again, something to think about. We hope you found this helpful. If you have questions, feel free to drop us an email to dress@miss-dress.com. Check out our Facebook page, sign up for our newsletter, and definitely sign in for next week's blog. Thanks, bye.